Hello everyone, my name is Yudhit Jaswal. I'm the group editor at Y Media. Today we have a very special guest here for the year-end interview, the leader of the official opposition party, Conservative Party of Canada, Pierre Poilievre. Sir, a very warm welcome on Y Media. How are you?
Great to be with you, Mr. Jaswal. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, sir. And I was looking at a survey this morning. 1 in 4 Canadians, they say, they are going to have a tough time in covering their basic needs. So I don't think so. We were better off in the year 2023, looking forward for 2024. What's your take on this?
This is the misery that Canadians suffer after 8 years of Justin Trudeau. He's not worth the cost. After 8 years of Trudeau, food prices have risen faster than at any time in 40 years. After 8 years of Trudeau, housing costs have doubled. After 8 years of Trudeau, he's bringing in a carbon tax that he plans to quadruple on your gas, heat, and groceries. After 8 years of Trudeau, work doesn't pay. You make it, and he takes it. After 8 years of Trudeau, people can no longer afford to eat, and there are 2 million people lined up at food banks across the country. He is not worth the cost. What we need is a common sense plan to bring home lower prices by axing the carbon tax and the inflationary deficits, bring home powerful paychecks with lower income taxes that reward hard work, and with a blue seal exam so that our immigrant professionals can get jobs as doctors and engineers and nurses, and bring homes that people can afford with less bureaucracy and taxes and more home building.
Almost close to 70% people think, this was another survey, they think that yes, the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau should resign. Though more than 60% say he will not resign in 2024. Same questions for you. Should he resign? And do you think he will resign in 2024?
He won't resign because of his ego. He's a man of enormous, enormous ego. There's nothing more important in the world to Justin Trudeau than Justin Trudeau. So he will stay along to serve his ego, even if it means that Canadians go hungry, if it means that our people are becoming homeless, even if it means 40-year-olds are forced to live in parents' basements because of his policies. But I think Canadians will fire Justin Trudeau in the carbon tax election that I will win whenever it happens.
Okay, if you win as a Prime Minister, what will be your top 3 priorities? How are you going to bring the change? That's the key question.
I'm going to bring home lower prices by axing the carbon tax and the inflationary deficits, bring home powerful paychecks with lower income tax that rewards hard work, bring homes people can afford by requiring cities permit 15% more home building per year as a condition of federal funding. I will require every federally funded transit station have high density apartments all around them to get federal money. Finally, I will sell off 6,000 federal buildings and thousands of acres of federal land to build. And I'm going to bring safety again. What people are telling me is that crime is raging out of control. Extortion letters, assassinations, car thefts. Trudeau has unleashed these scourges in the streets of Canada where people no longer feel safe. My common sense plan brings jail, not bail, for repeat violent offenders. We'll bring treatment and not more decriminalized and subsidized drugs to bring our loved ones home drug-free. And we'll stop harassing law-abiding firearms owners and instead put the money into border security to keep illegal drugs and guns out and stop the export of stolen cars through our ports. We have to stop the Trudeau car theft crisis, and I will stop it by sealing our borders and scanning the shipping containers to stop the export of the vehicles.
Nothing really new in Canada in terms of infrastructure. We've always heard about billions of dollars flowing in infrastructure, but where is that infrastructure? I fail to see. What's your take?
Well, it's a good question. So, as with everything Trudeau does, he announces these big billion-dollar programs, and then where does the money go? It seems like it just gets vaporized by bureaucracy, and we have worse traffic jams on the Gardiner, on the 401, on all of the major arteries of our country. People sit in traffic jams longer while they pay higher taxes for infrastructure. My common sense plan would clear away the bureaucracy and make sure our money gets spent on quickly approved real infrastructure projects. I will end the war on the car. Not everybody can take public transit. We need to ensure that we have automotive infrastructure, roads, bridges, interchanges, and other necessary infrastructure so that folks can get where they're going quickly and affordably.
We've seen a clear decline as far as the fourth pillar of the democracy is concerned. I'm talking about the media here. You've been very vocal about CBC, and I also want to know your plan. If you become the prime minister, we here at the ethnic media, we're facing our challenges. All reporters in any media, they're facing their challenges. What's your plan for media?
Free speech, freedom of expression. Right now, Trudeau is censoring the internet. He's passed a law that has shut our media off of Facebook and other online platforms. This is hurting our media. While most of what the money he wants to give out is going to large corporate traditional media with connections and lobbyists in Ottawa and Bay Street, my common sense plan would open up our internet so that all media players can compete for eyeballs and earlobes, and that it's the free market and the free speech that determines what people choose to read, hear, and see.
At an international stage, our relationship with China, Russia, big powers like India, so we've also now taken a stance against Israel at the UN. Your take on all this?
Look, after 8 years of Trudeau, Canada is weaker and irrelevant in the world stage. He's embarrassed our country by dancing around like a fool in India, by allowing China to open foreign police stations in Canada, by singing a drunken song in the lobby at the Queen's funeral. Everywhere he goes, he's in a total embarrassment, and we're paying the price. We have no softwood lumber deal with the Americans, even though we had one under the Conservatives. We have no exemption to Buy America. We have no pipeline from Alberta to the Gulf Coast. So he's getting nothing done with Washington. And we need a prime minister who can stand up and defend our interests and our values in the world stage. And that's what Pierre Poilievre and the Common Sense Conservatives will do.
If I quickly squeeze in just last two questions, one on the healthcare, which is very important. The federal and the provincial budgets, the number one spending is healthcare, but the wait lines are ever increasing in the emergency departments and the wait times otherwise as well. Please.
My common sense plan would allow us to have more doctors and nurses. We have 20,000 immigrant doctors and 32,000 immigrant nurses who are banned from working because they have no way of proving their qualifications. There's an obvious solution to this problem. In the trades, we have the Red Seal exam to prove you're qualified. There's no such thing in the professions. I will bring in a Blue Seal professional standard that would allow immigrant doctors and nurses to take a test, prove they are qualified, and get to work within 60 days rather than waiting around for 12 years driving a taxi. The nurses in the States who come from the Philippines, they can take an exam in 2 weeks, an international exam, high standard, prove they're qualified, go work in an American hospital. Why don't we have that same process in Canada so we can get more doctors and nurses working? And also other professionals. We have too many gatekeepers, Mr. Jaswal. We have, after 8 years of Trudeau, we still don't have a direct flight to Amritsar. Why is it that Singapore, Malaysia, UK, Italy, UAE, Uzbekistan all have direct flights to Amritsar? Canada doesn't. My common sense plan would nail down a deal with India and the airlines to get a direct flight from Toronto and Vancouver to Amritsar to save people a lot of travel time when they go back to visit the Golden Temple, their families, or their businesses in Punjab.
Wow, that's great news. We're looking forward for that for quite some time now. That'll be very, very good. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Last question. Afghanistan came from behind. 1979, we participated in the first inaugural ODI World Cup. 1983 as well, and 87. So, but here we are today. Afghanistan has a better cricket team than Canada. US is hosting the Cricket World Cup next year. Where are we in all this? We're seeing stadiums built right across US. So in the sports, where does Canada stand today?
Not in the right place. We have massive populations in Canada that love cricket. We should be among the greatest cricket champions in the world. We have people from India, from the Caribbean, and other places of very solid cricket enthusiasm. So I want to make sure we work to allow more cricket stadiums and facilities so that we can take the talent we have and turn it into victories around the world.
Thank you so much.
I cricket myself last summer. We'll have to send you the clip. I was able to get in a beautiful swing. You want to send that clip over to Mr. Jaswal? Maybe you could play it. You have to play it on your network.
Sure, definitely we'll play it on a network. As a matter of fact, we'll play with your, how's that? We'll play with your New Year wishes this time. So along with your New Year wishes, we'll play you swinging a bat. How's that?
Absolutely. That would be the best Christmas present of all.
Sure. Sir, thank you so much for your time. Anything else you want to add before we let you go?
Well, listen, the good news is that life wasn't like this in Canada before Trudeau. Won't be like this after he's gone. Better days are coming. We're going to rely on the common sense of the common people to rebuild our common home. That we're going to have a country with powerful paychecks that buy affordable food, gas, and homes in safe neighborhoods. That is the country we deserve and the country that we will restore. Thank you very much. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to any who might be celebrating. And say hello to Shelley and the whole team over at Y Media.
I will say hello to Shelley as well. Yeah, she's along with us here right now at Midweek Newsroom as well. And Merry Christmas to you as well, sir. Happy holidays. And looking forward to chat once again with you in the new year. Thank you so much for your time.
I like that. Thank you very much, Mr. Jaswal. Bye now.
Bye for now. Take care. Thank you.
The biggest South Asian media group, Y Media.